This episode of the Walt Vault podcast is brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is a completely free podcasting tool that allows you to create your very own podcast for no money whatsoever.
You know who should have a podcast? It's me, Yogi.
Oh my god, Gorgie, no, what are you doing here?
Yogi heard that people love his voice, so he wants to project it to the world on Apple Music, and iTunes, and Spotify, and Stitcher, and all the places where podcasts are distributed.
Oh my god, Gorgie, no, nobody wants to hear you talk.
Yogi can even make money on his podcast with the Anchor's free sponsorship program.
Wait, you're gonna get paid for this too?
Yes, and it's all possible with Anchor and their free creation tools.
Oof, okay, well, I'll bite. What's your podcast gonna be called, Gorgie?
It's gonna be Yogi Gets It. Available on all podcast platforms thanks to Anchor.
Well, you've heard it here first. Go to Anchor.fm to get started. Download the free Anchor app, and you can make your own podcast. Anchor. It's so easy, even Gorgie can do it.
Yogi!
Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi has to save young Leia after she is kidnapped, all the while being pursued by Imperial Inquisitors and his former Padawan, also known as Darth Vader.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
and Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 178.
Oh, I do have a question now.
Oh.
I got one.
Oh, I was going to ask a question.
Oh, we can both do it because
Okay.
mine is short and sweet.
Guys, it's duel of the questions. This week we are talking about the brand new 2022 Disney Plus original series, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Kenobi on my Kenobi.
Yeah.
as is also known.
Addie calls it Kenobi on my Kenobi.
Ollie does now too.
That's his name.
They don't know how to say Obi-Wan, apparently.
Darth Vader, mama.
Oh yeah, he's scary.
Yeah, Darth Vader's scary.
Darth Vader's so scary.
All right, so my question is... Who
Oh Lord.
plays Luke Skywalker again?
Mark Hamill.
Okay, who aged better, Hayden Christensen or Mark Hamill?
Oh my God.
Because they both look awful. So sorry for people who ship them. They don't look great.
Man, you got to be in the grave to ship Mark Hamill.
How dare you? How dare you? There are plenty of 55-year-old
There's
ladies
plenty
that
of Mark
love
Hamill shippers.
some Mark
I
Hamill.
think
I mean, in
honest-
terms of age, you got to be a zombie to freaking ship him.
I mean, honestly,
Oh, dear.
Mark Hamill has a longer period on Hayden Christensen, right? He had,
Correct.
what, 18
From
to...
1977 to now.
So, unfortunately, he has years on him. But I think...
Yeah, but Hayden Christensen does not
that's
look great
bad.
right now, man.
That's really bad. Oh, my gosh.
In my opinion, Mark Hamill has aged better thus far.
Listen, both of these men grew up on a very deserty planet, okay? Their skin is not made for
They
aging.
didn't put sunscreen on.
I don't like sand. No, I disagree with you. I think Hayden Christensen will end up a better...
You know what I'm saying right
Aged
now?
man.
There's been some photos of Hayden Christensen I've seen. Like, that one's not that bad.
This one's a good one.
Yeah, but that
It's
one's
like on
fine. But there's
Entertainment Tonight
some
or
I've
something.
seen, like when he was at...
The one I sent you?
Yeah, that was awful.
That was scary.
And then just
Scowy.
him interviewing at the Star Wars celebration, I was like, ooh. Maybe it's right because he was next to Ewan, who is very good looking, you know?
Oh, Ewan McGregor. Woohoo. Here's the deal, though. Next week, right? We're doing George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
And so we've
Spoiler.
already... yeah, sorry. And you know, our episodes aren't that timeless anymore because we are definitely... recording around the birth of a baby, a Star Wars baby.
Correct.
And A
Indeed.
New Hope, a new Trey. And so we've already done George of the Jungle, but you haven't heard it yet. But I'm sorry. In some lights, Hayden Christensen kind of looks like Brendan Fraser.
Oh, the homie.
Yeah.
The homie Brendan.
And that's kind of an issue for him.
Wait, for which one? For Hayden or for Brendan?
For Hayden?
But I also think it's really hard for me because I don't think either of them is attractive.
Who? Brendan Fraser or Hayden Christensen?
Oh, and Mark Hamill.
Oh, yeah.
All three of y'all.
I would still say
Sorry,
that
Mark,
Hamill has aged better thus far. Because Hayden Christensen, he ain't that old, but he ain't looking so good to me.
He ain't looking so good to me.
Now, wait, when you guys were younger, did you find Hayden Christensen attractive at all?
No.
Not particularly, but
I
now
didn't watch
watching
these movies so I was older, remember?
Oh, right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but looking back on it now, like
I probably would have.
probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saw like
Had that early 2000s look.
yeah, he had that Padawan pony.
Yeah, that Padawan pony.
Burr, burr, burr.
It's hard because as you get older, you
Ride it.
it's like
Padawan pony.
Done.
I feel like as you get older, like maybe if I was younger, like right now we're like ooh Ewan McGregor, right? But I bet if I was younger, I wouldn't have been like ooh Ewan McGregor.
I was like that about him when I was in high school, though, for sure.
About Ewan?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I was like that
Hardcore.
about Johnny Depp, and he's old, so
Right.
Johnny Depp.
But here's the truth. I think back into my younger years, and I thought that Justin Timberlake with, top ramen hair
was the
was
bee's knees.
the most,
The pinnacle of sexiness.
the pinnacle of sexiness. And
Yes.
now, as an adult,
If he didn't bring sexy back, we wouldn't have it. It would be no sexy.
well, he brought it back in his 30s, man. Okay.
Have you seen
Wow.
those? Have you seen those TikTok or Instagram videos where it's like show a picture of your childhood crush and now show the person that you married?
Yeah.
Well, wait. So what? Yours is Justin Timberlake, and then you end up with this fool.
Which is hilarious because he was.
Hey, mine and Mo looks the same. They're twins, man.
Who?
You and Usher. Okay.
Oh, I thought
I
she was gonna say I look like Johnny Depp. I was like, wait.
Oh no. My childhood crush was Usher.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are kind of close.
Yeah, we're gonna go with yeah.
We're gonna go with yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm no Beyonce, so
I wouldn't say no. You know who I actually liked more than Justin was Lance, and then
Well,
Definitely an upgrade.
he didn't want me.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it's a little
he didn't
impossible.
want us.
I'm not trying to be rude.
Wait,
to you,
who was
but
your childhood
Justin
crush?
Timberlake didn't want you either. Just to be fair, he's.
Wow.
Hey, you don't know
Wow.
that.
Listen, I know Beyonce didn't want me. Okay, I know that.
Yeah,
And
yours was Beyonce,
and I have
right?
come to
Yeah.
accept that. I'm okay. I'm okay with
I'm
it.
definitely no Beyonce, but this body might be too bootylicious for you, babe. Whoa.
It is. It is.
Wait, Louise, who was your childhood crush?
I don't know, man.
You don't know.
That's not true. He's always coming up with like,
It's probably a
oh,
cartoon."
Pocahontas, man, she was.
Yeah, that's why I just said it's probably a cartoon.
No.
The mouse,
a
the
lot
mouse
of
from
cartoons.
Chippendale. What was her name?
Hey, Gadget.
Dude,
What's up,
Gadget.
Hey.
Gadget.
All right, so who aged better, babe? Who do you
Oh,
think?
I have to choose too.
Yes.
I mean,
It was more of a joke question than anything, so you don't have to answer.
I'll say Mark. I'll say Marky Mark.
Oh, Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
Louise, who do you say?
Age better?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Mark Hamill looks like hot garbage.
All right, 2 for Hayden, 2 for Marky Mark.
I'm so sorry for screaming into the
Emily had a
microphone.
question too. Mine was more of a joke, so I don't know what yours
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Michelle asked a question.
I just thought it was funny.
Okay, Emily's this or that. I forgot what I used to say. Okay. Would you rather
Oh, would you rather? Yeah.
have your BFF be K2SO
Okay.
Okay.
From Rogue One.
from Rogue One or R2D2 from everything else?
Oh man. I'm going with R2D2, but he's my favorite droid. He's just iconic. He
R2
lives
is-
a long time.
R2 is pretty awesome, right? He's a pretty good sidekick.
He's been messing
Terms of
people up
droids.
since day one, setting them on fire and things.
I I'm sorry, was that in the third one?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the funniest.
When he's just spitting oil on these battle droids.
And
burning them
also,
to death.
I don't know if I want my droid to talk to me.
Right. I was just about to say, K2SO is he can fully speak, which is cool. He could be a built-in
Is that
best
the
friend.
girl one?
No.
No.
The one from Rogue One, the
K2SO?
the big black battle droid dude. And he's like, what was one of his lines? I can't remember anything he said in that movie.
I don't know, but he talks.
But yes, he talks. He was funny.
Did you mean to say Lola?
No. I was thinking about the one that what's his name had.
But Lando.
Yeah, that's not K2SO?
No. Lando.
Oh no, you're right. K2SO is the one in Rogue One.
Either way, that one still talks, and I don't really.
Yeah,
know.
you're not into the talking.
I don't think I need my droid to talk to me.
Lando's droid was L337.
Okay, well keep my answer. Or keep my question, Lou. You R2 K2.
R2, man.
Which
R2.
I don't know if I believe that because he gets mad every time R2 screams.
Well, just
but
because
the
I
other
think his
thing
scream
talks.
is annoying doesn't mean that he's a bona fide BA, man. Like, there's
I was about to say you're gonna wake up the children, but they're not here.
Not here.
there's
Not
no
to scream as
reason
loud
why
as I
you should be
want.
yelling like
Scaring
that.
people outside though.
Whatever. The stars are at war out there, y'all.
No, I like him. He's the OG, honestly.
He is.
Okay, so that was that question. Would you rather travel on the Millennium Falcon or the Imperial Star Cruiser?
Star Destroyer.
The Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those always blow up.
that's very true.
Okay,
fair. They lose roughly 70% of their Star Destroyers every year. It's
If it didn't blow up, I would say the Star Destroyer. Let's assume I'm just going for a joyride. The Star Destroyer.
Really? I would definitely choose the Millennium Falcon.
I already been on the Millennium Falcon. Disneyland.
Okay.
I already been on
I've
it.
been there, done that. Yeah, I would choose the
I want
Millennium
to go in the
Falcon.
front of the thing, like, and be like, push the button. No, I push the button.
Oh, wait. Are we talking about the Death Star or a Star Destroyer?
The Star Destroyer.
Yeah, isn't it like, it's like a triangle?
Yes, the triangle.
Yeah.
And I will push a button to do something.
I would choose the Millennium Falcon just because it's got everything, right? It's the fastest ship in the galaxy. Okay.
So they say.
It's got games.
Sounds like I'm going to get
They
sick.
got chess in there. What else?
It brings people game.
Yeah, it definitely brings people game, which is surprising because it is like a 70s van. You know, it's a big old bus in the sky.
Pretty sure people have carved their names into the bathroom stalls. Okay.
For fun.
I think if
called
I was
Chewie.
actually on the Millennium Falcon, I'd be so motion sick, it wouldn't even be funny.
Probably.
The Star Destroyer's big. I won't get so sick.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair for a point.
It's like a fishing boat versus a cruise
Like a
ship.
cruise ship,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
What about you? Whatever. You.
Husband.
You,
You.
Millennium Falcon.
Millennium
Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go on the cruiser.
The Star Destroyer.
Great, we can have vacation.
I want to call it a cruiser.
I bet they got nice quarters.
It's a cruiser. I feel like I could stretch my legs.
Yeah.
You can't
I could run around.
on the Millennium Falcon.
No.
Emily and I have a full-blown vacation on the Star Cruiser.
Okay.
Is it not a cruiser?
It's the Star Destroyer. Is what
Okay.
is what it's called.
Well, whatever. We're going to have vacation on there.
It's a
We're
cruiser.
going to
Okay.
destroy things that get in our
As
way.
many vacations as you want.
Get out me
I
way.
would also say that a main reason to not be on the Star Destroyer is that there's always some Sith Lord hanging out there.
Who
that
said anything about that? She didn't say that.
loves to choke people.
She didn't say that. She just said, what ship you want to ride on?
The choking hazard for the Millennium
Han
Falcon
Solo's
versus the Star
dead. He's not on
Destroyer
your Millennium Falcon.
way higher on the Star Destroyer.
No, I'm just borrowing the whole ship.
Tis mine.
You know, he's hiding in that back to tank. He's like, someone is on my ship.
No, can go somewhere else.
Okay, chill out. Goodness gracious.
Okay, last question. Last question.
yes.
Cloud, do you want to live in Cloud City
Okay.
Bleh.
or bleh, or Alderaan.
Assuming it doesn't get blown up, it's Alderaan all the way. I am not living in no Cloud City.
I mean, Cloud City's cool.
Yeah, you like Cloud City. I do not.
It's cool. It's a mining planet. It's all made of gas.
It's in the sky.
And yeah, it's in the sky. You living in the sky, baby.
You look and sound just like Lando right now.
You know, in Cloud City, you live amongst the stars.
Whatever. Alderaan, if it doesn't get blown up, is where it's at.
Alderaan.
Alderaan is nice. It does seem like it seems temperate. Like, it's not too hot.
Yeah.
Like Tatooine, it's not too cold. Like Hoth, you know, it's right. Springtime planet.
I mean, I could have brought in Tatooine and ain't nobody pick it. Go ahead, Lou.
Heck no, I'm not living on no Tatooine.
Alderaan, Cloud City.
Same thing with Alderaan. As long as it doesn't get blown up.
I feel like there'd be some sick parties in Cloud City, so.
Oh, yeah, baby.
For a vacation, it's not for living.
But you don't live the party?
No.
The party don't live her. All right. Move along.
Okay.
Those were the questions.
Oh, goodness. Why'd you
Sorry.
smack the microphone?
Because I was putting the nub it back on and it got twisted.
Okay, so Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is a show directed by Deborah Chow. It premiered in 2022. It stars Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, as well.
And James Earl Jones in the sky.
And James Earl Jones in the sky. And Moses Ingram as Reva, the third sister.
Her name is Moses?
Yeah.
Her name is Moses.
Wow.
Ingram, yes.
Cool.
It's a pretty cool name.
And little Leia.
And Leia is played by...
Can't forget her.
Who plays little?
Vivian Lyra Blair.
All right.
Where'd they find that chick?
Mary
man?
Blair.
Oh, where'd they find a 10-year-old named Vivian? That's crazy.
Why is that crazy?
I don't know. It feels like,
like an old lady name.
Yeah.
If you're a listener named Vivian, are you old?
Jeez.
Put your name in the chat.
All right, so we're going to go into our first impressions. I will say it. This is the best Star Wars show so far.
Oh.
I love Mando. But, like, it's kind of slow. And if it wasn't for Baby Grogu, would I like it? I don't know. But this one, I already want to go watch it again. And Obi-Wan is my favorite Jedi. And it was really nice. It was really cool seeing Darth Vader mess things up again.
Indeed.
And being more... like Anakin-ish. Like when I watch the movies with Darth Vader, I don't really get Anakin vibes too much.
Right.
Like this felt, even though it was 10 years later, it still felt closer to like I was watching Anakin as Darth Vader. So I really appreciated that aspect of it. I really liked that.
Okay.
And little Leia steals the show. I mean, I really don't have too many qualms about it. There were things I wanted to see that didn't happen.
Sure.
Or, you know, there were some characters where I was just like, not my favorite. But overarching, like, this was the best Star Wars show that has come out on Disney Plus thus far. In my opinion. Luis.
Definitely better than all the other ones. I'm just going to say Jon Favreau has no business being around a Star Wars.
Yeah, you guys do not like Jon Favreau.
No.
I like him in other capacities, but like the shows are not his.
Has no business being around it.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Same. I like him too. Just stay away from Star Wars.
They feel as if he feels as if he's not doing Star Wars justice.
Not my Star Wars.
Okay, Emily.
So I agree with you completely, Michelle. I was excited to watch the next episode. It felt like it was a story versus like standalone episodes. I know that when we watched Mando the first time, Luis like was really into the like kind of gunslinger old western type thing.
Right.
That's not my personal style, but I could appreciate it. But it was, like you said, it was very slow and similar. I remember being like sitting in one episode being like, if it wasn't for Grogu's little face eating live frogs, I would not be watching this right now. Like I would have punked out for sure.
Right.
And how many
I
times
wouldn't have punked out because I'm a Star Wars fan, but I agree with you. Like I feel like it was like, okay.
Yeah. And then with Boba, I mean, you guys know I emotionally punked out like on the first episode.
Till it was the Mando show.
Yeah.
Right.
So this was just, It felt like a Star Wars movie. It had exemplary acting. The music was good. I like how beautifully it tied in with what we have heard, right? What you've heard from like the prequels, what you heard from the original. What do you call those? The originals?
The original trilogy.
Yeah. So like you can hear it and it doesn't feel like disjointed. I love the Mandalorian theme, but it takes you into the future, right? It takes you into a different type of Star Wars sound. Right. So this just was a really good compilation of everything. I was thoroughly impressed with the acting.
Also, my favorite thing...
I have a qualm with the acting, but other than that, everything
stylistically,
else. That was more a style
I could
problem.
not get over the brightness of the lightsabers. It was so cool.
Oh.
Very cool.
I hate when things are dark and I can't see. Like when they make shows like so dark, you have to turn off all the lights in the house.
Right.
Make sure there's no glare on your TV. You can't see what's going on.
That's true.
So the fact that they had those bright lightsabers, it looks so cool.
Oh yeah, and we just got our new TV, and the colors are freaking awesome. So we were like, ooh,
dude, I bet. All right,
Olivia said, ooh.
Oh. Andre, first impression.
Yeah, I agree with you both, with all of you, that this is the best Star Wars show that Disney Plus has put out to date. And yeah, I think that it was great all the way around, you know, and which is impressive because I had high expectations going into this show. Like, as you said, Michelle, like Obi-Wan is like one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, and I think that Ewan McGregor's performance in the prequels is like the main thing that carried those things.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
So getting him to come back and reprise this role and show a time where Obi-Wan is in distress or whatever was very, very cool to see. And I think that all the acting was really good. The music, as you said, was really good. The music, so the theme was done by John Williams, but the scores of all the episodes was by, what is her name? Nicola Holt? Hang on a second. Sorry, one second. Where's composer? Oh no, where'd she go? It's the same woman who did the Loki series, Natalie Holt.
Okay. Well, awesome.
Yeah, I think she did a fantastic job.
Which I remember thinking the Loki score, like the music was really good too.
Right, was cool in that show as well.
She can be the next John. I'll allow it.
Yeah, go ahead, Natalie. So yeah, and I think Deborah Chow, who directed all 6 episodes of this show.
I'm a Deborah fan now too.
Yeah. I think she did an amazing job. We know her from. She directed a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian in season 1, but she also directed a couple episodes of Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. She directed some episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. She's mostly known for her TV
TV stuff.
TV roles, yes.
Oh, she did Fear the Walking Dead?
A couple episodes in seasons 2 and 3, yeah. And Better Call Saul and Man in High Castle. She's done it all.
Oh yeah, she's all over then.
She's all over the place.
Good for her.
And yeah, she's really good at capturing that lighting and those colors. Like there's some scenes where Darth Vader is fighting and you see like red and blue on his face and it's going back and forth.
I was going to say that. Yes.
It's so cool. So cool.
I already want to watch this whole show again.
Yeah, I think I do too, because just starting it from the beginning, I mean, like...
They're playing it in certain theaters right now all the way through.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 5.5 hours though.
I mean, okay.
Dang, I'm about to have a baby. I guess I can.
But like on the big screen, that'd be so sick. Because it does feel like a movie.
Oh, it's totally a movie.
I think this is the show that feels most like a movie, and probably because I think it's the show that takes place, you know, in between movies. You know, the other shows are after episode 6 for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. Or
and also,
They feel divergent.
Yes.
This does not.
This feels like it's a sequel to episode 3.
Yes.
And you know what I also loved is that we focused on Leia and not Luke.
I like that a lot.
The originals, it's a lot of Luke. Leia is in there, yes. But we really focused on Leia.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried they were going to do Luke as a kid too much.
I was worried
and
as
I
well.
was like, I don't need more Luke. And then as soon as little baby Leia came on the screen, I was like, yes.
Well, and I think that's the cool part too, is that in the first time you watch like A New Hope as an old enough person to understand what's going on, because I remember watching it as a kid and just being like, oh, but then like not understanding what was happening.
Robots as bad guys.
Yeah, you know.
Guys, that's about
but the first time really watching it and trying to get context, bless you, you don't know why she's calling on Obi-Wan.
Right.
Like, she's just some random person she's asking for. So it's really cool that now we know, like, the backstory and why she actually believes that he can help them.
Right, exactly.
Ben Kenobi, where is he?
You know? Yeah. I think the
Why
way
she
that
named Kylo Ren Ben.
the way that this ties into all of the future Star Wars
They did a good
projects
job.
was done very well. Very well.
And there's not a lot of holes, like, which is cool.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, like there is like one kind of hole that
About
I'm
the
wondering.
Force ghosting.
Well, no, not even that. I think they did an okay job with the Force ghosting.
But you wanted more of it.
I was expecting a little bit more, but I mean, I guess it's what I got was fine. No, I was gonna say that the one hole is Reva, in that. Obviously, we were spoiling this whole show. But
Yeah. Don't listen to this if you.
right, yeah, if you haven't finished it. But Reva, the third sister, she survives at the end of this series.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just wonder, like, if she's going to show up in some other Star Wars show project or something like that.
I don't know. Darth Vader stabbed her. She should have been dead.
Oh, well, yeah. But
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, okay.
Revenge
Yeah.
is the perfect thing you need.
That's good. That is a qualm. I do agree with that.
yeah, I just wonder where we may see her next.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. Okay, now we're skipping, but I don't even care. I thought she was going to, like, either die on the sword or ask him to kill her.
Ask
right
Darth
at the
Vader
end.
to kill her?
No.
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay.
Like, right at the end where she's, like, handing over her hilt. I thought she was going to, like,
Yeah, just
do it.
turn this on next to my face.
Yeah? Like,
It's weird because, I agree with you.
That's what I felt like.
I, didn't... She was really fun to hate, like, on screen,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
She was a good
But
villain.
then at the end, I just, pitied her.
But she really wasn't a good villain. I'm sorry. She was not. She was, like, the worst part of the show.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Really?
I liked her.
I liked her.
She was cool.
I mean, she was a good bad guy. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I guess because she became a paradox is what is the problem.
Oh, you
But the
wanted
whole
her to,
time-
just be evil?
Yeah, like, the whole time I'm like, you are literally doing what you're trying to kill somebody for.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's why it was fun to hate her.
You know? Like,
a filthy
Oh, she's a hypocrite.
oh
for
my God.
sure.
It was hard for me to watch because it was so
Yeah.
blatant.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there was no internal struggle with her at all on
No.
screen. So I was kind of like, come
Not
on.
until the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Until the very end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's
I mean, I
my
was thinking
only issue.
the same thing as you the whole time. Because I even had to ask Andre because I didn't really know what the Inquisitors were because they're on the video games and things
Yeah,
like
and
that.
they're
You
in the
said,
Clone
or in the
Wars
Clone Wars or whatever.
cartoon.
But I was like, okay, so if they order 66 all the Jedi, why were you saving some of them to go bad and do all this? So in my head, I was like, they could have played it more as she's trapped, right? She has to do this or else
Right.
she's dead or something like that. But then when they were showing the flashbacks to her stuff and she's just up there chopping people's hands off and doing crazy things, I was like, you're taking it too far, girl.
Yeah.
You could have been the other girl who was in the Empire, but she wasn't
Yeah.
horrible.
Right.
You
right.
know what I mean?
There's multiple ways to go about your business if you're in the Empire. You know, you can help the rebels, or you can just go fully evil, which I think is an interesting parallel between Reva and what was that other girl's name?
Tala.
Tala.
Yeah,
yes,
Tala.
Yes, exactly.
Not Ice Cube.
No, Ice Cube was Roken.
He did look like Ice Cube.
So, okay,
He's
that dude came
You
in.
need to tell the story?
Right.
You need to tell the story.
That dude came on the screen, and Michelle's like, "Oh, snap! This dude looks like."
No, you said
she
there's Ice Cube.
Michelle said, "This guy looks familiar." I was like, "Oh, it's Ice Cube," and she's like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's Ice Cube. I get
And
it."
then I thought it was Ice Cube.
And she thought it was actually Ice Cube.
You can't just say that.
His name is O'Shea Jackson Jr. Ice Cube's name is O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah,
this
he's
man
Ice Cube's
is
son.
Ice Cube's son, and he played Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton, the movie.
Is he really
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ice Cube's
He's
son?
Ice Cube's son.
Well, that makes
He's
sense then.
Ice Cube 2.
Yeah, but Andre was like, it's Ice Cube. I was like, yeah, you're right. And then, what was it, like a week later we were watching
like
it?
the next episode.
And you were like, oh, yeah, I remember him Straight Outta Compton. I was like, what? And I was like, that was Ice Cube's son. You said this was Ice Cube. And he was like, well, you think they look the same? I'm like, yeah, they do.
I mean, they do look the same. But to be fair, we did just watch 21 Jump Street not too long ago, and Ice Cube is actually in that. You know, you've seen both.
Yeah, but there's years in between these movies. And you just told me it was Ice Cube, and I hecka believed you, man.
That's actually really funny because I thought that at one point, but then didn't think about it again. But yeah,
connect the dots.
I was like, snap, Ice Cube's a Star Wars character.
I mean, hey, there's weirder things.
That's true.
So are we gonna go episodically, or are we?
Yes, we can.
We don't have to.
I don't know if we don't have to because I have another character issue.
I think you can just read us a synopsis of the episode, and let's just say our opinion.
I do want to jump to the beginning of the series just to talk about Obi-Wan's life on Tatooine for a minute, which is like sad and depressing. You know,
Sucker McSuckerton. Okay,
he's down there. You know, he pulls out his binoculars. He looks at Luke. He goes to his crappy job where he cuts fish from a dead big fish.
My mom
and somehow steals every day without anybody saying.
I thought as soon as he starts like cutting off a slice of meat and putting it in his pocket, I was like, oh no, Obi-Wan, you're going to have to pull out your lightsaber to get out of this situation.
My mom said the same thing. She called me after and she was like, and I was trying not to cry because I was like, oh no, are they going to discover him stealing the fish? But it's for his elephant thing.
For his little aardvark horse or whatever he's got.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Elephant I was like, that's what you were worried about, Mother? Are they going to his animal won't be fed?
And it looks skinny enough already, you know? But yeah, I was kind of worried about that. But they don't bring that back. But yeah, so he goes to work every day. He has cut himself off from the Force. His best friend is a Jawa that steals from him all the time. Like, he has got nothing going on in his life.
That was hilarious.
It was very funny. He's like, bro, if you're going to steal from me, at least don't try to sell me back my own stuff, man.
Jawas are like my second favorite Star Wars character besides Ewoks or creatures or whatever. I freaking love Jawas, dude. Houdini! Houdini! We were doing that literally the whole time when that what did we go at the Gallo?
Oh yeah.
And there was Jawas there, and we were taking a picture with them. I was like, everybody say Houdini, and then the Jawa was all Houdini. I was like, dude,
I'm just really happy we didn't have to see any Tusken Raiders. Okay, we saw enough.
That's true.
Thank you for not putting them on screen. We did not need to see them.
That's another thing I think they did well with this show is that they did a limited amount of Tatooine. And then they got us out of there and had us go to some other places, which was nice because Tatooine has been kind of the bane of our Star Wars existence for some time now.
For decades. Okay, decades.
They're like, nothing happens on Tatooine. Why would anybody go there? It's in like 9 out of the 13 movies or whatever. Like, come on.
It is Star Wars. There's 2 moons and 1 million Tatooines.
We got to go back to Tunisia. We have to film in the desert. So yeah, Obi-Wan is on Tatooine doing a whole lot of nothing, and the Inquisitors are arriving to hunt for Jedi. There's the Grand Inquisitor and the
who
second
is
sister.
So cool.
Yeah, he's very cool. Han is the 5th brother. Oh. He's the one with the weird looking helmet. Oh. The Grand Inquisitor is the dude with the eye tattoos. Oh. But that is Han from Fast and Furious. He's the Asian guy. What is his actual name? Hang on a second. One moment. Sung Kang played the 5th brother, and Rupert Friend played the Grand Inquisitor.
He kind of sounded like Benedict Wong.
Right?
Voice-wise.
Yeah, a little bit. I think he was doing his best evil voice. And then the 3rd sister, Reva, Moses Ingram, is there as well.
There's the 4th missing.
I
wish they would have explained what that meant.
I kind of wish they did too, because I still fully don't understand all the sisters and brothers, right? Like there obviously are a certain number of Inquisitors that Darth Vader has under his wing at any moment, I guess. But in the video game that I played, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, there is the 2nd sister and the 5th sister. So I assume that there's at least 5 brothers and sisters each. plus the Grand Inquisitor on top of all of them, I guess, or maybe he's the first brother. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it works. I wish they would have explained it. But the Inquisitors basically are there to hunt down Force users, not just Jedi, but anyone who has the capability of using the Force.
So he has an evil baker's dozen of Inquisitors to do his
They
bidding.
said Baker's dozen was
Yeah.
like 13.
It is 13, but I'm saying like
So-
give or take some people.
Yeah, there could be up to 13 of these suckers. Yeah, he's got a little baseball team of bad guys that he uses to
Baseball bad
to
guys.
send out and collect Force users for him.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So we see in the first episode, there's a scene where they go into a bar and they're like, "Oh, so I heard somebody was hanging out here, and you know, if you don't want to die right now, then maybe you should point out who that person is." And then they like throw a knife at the bar's face, and then the Force catches it, and a guy runs away, and then they
The
string
guy
that
from
dude
Panic
up.
at the Disco runs away.
Is that who that was?
The lead singer.
No,
It did kind of look like it.
that's like a funny.
That's funny.
But I like how they were trying to act like there had been no Jedi there. There were freaking saber marks on the wall.
Right.
Like,
They're like, so what's that? What's this?
But they're also trying to say there's no jurisdiction to the Empire out there because they're the Outer Rim.
Right.
You know,
the
but
Empire
doesn't really
technically
matter.
doesn't control
The Outer
this
Rim.
area, but you know.
oh, we gonna come out here and control this area.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's basically the first episode is just poor Obi-Wan living his life.
Right.
But they end up hanging that Jedi, and he's like, ah, crap.
Yeah, that's the other thing that the Grand Inquisitor says is like, you know how to hunt Jedi is that they hunt themselves because they're so compassionate and they're so trustworthy and giving and loyal that they're gonna come and help, and we're gonna find that help and take it out. And so we see Obi-Wan, I think maybe into episode 2. Where he is heavily resisting helping anyone or using the Force or pulling his lightsaber from the hole that he put it in 10 years ago or whatever. You know, he's very resistant to doing all of that because he knows that it will get him killed and that it will get Luke killed.
I think I'm also a little bit confused about why Owen does not like Obi-Wan. Is it just because Obi-Wan's wanting to train him?
Yes, I think that's a large part of it, right? So Obi-Wan and Owen have a little conversation, and Owen's like, "Bro, I done told you to stay
Aunt Beru
away
is like fine with
from
him.
my family."
Yeah, he's
right?
very resistant.
But it was also like his job is to watch over them.
So if we go back to episode 2, we watch that, right? And we see Anakin show up and talk to Owen and Klieg or whatever, and Anakin goes off, brings back the mom's dead body, and he's like, "You guys all up." I shouldn't have
I'm
had to do
surprised he
this.
even wanted to take the kid.
Right.
Honestly.
So that was his experience hanging out with Anakin, right?
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, Obi-Wan brings a baby saying, "Hey, this is Anakin's kid. Don't tell nobody. Shush, 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 shush. I'm gonna be over there in the caves. Just raise this baby." I think from Owen's point of view, it's like, well, I have a son now, and it's now my job to protect him. It's not Obi-Wan's job, it's my job, and I'm going to raise him like I would raise a son of my own, you know, and that would definitely not include any Jedi training or anything like that.
Well, and I think that he might have some resentment too because what? Anakin was his brother?
Anakin is his
Stepbrother.
So, like, he can see what the Force, quote unquote, did to his stepbrother.
Right, yeah.
And so for him, it's like, well, your way didn't really work.
Exactly.
Surprised he's not more Uncle Vernon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. They are kind of like Harry Potter aunts and uncles. But Beru and Owen, I mean,
They're good people.
They're good people, and they do love Luke.
Yeah.
You know?
I was confused though how they were messing Reva up at the end. Like they were like holding their own, but a bunch of Tusken Raiders came and burned them in episode 4.
Well,
They were
okay.
old.
They were old, yeah.
They're
That's
older,
true.
but also it wasn't Tusken Raiders. It was stormtroopers, and they blamed it on the Tusken Raiders.
You're
by
right. You're
burning
right.
everything out.
You right.
Yeah. But you know, at the same time, stormtroopers can't shoot for nothing. But Aunt Beru
They
got
didn't age
skills.
well.
Like, brah, 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 brah. It was so cool.
I was like, did she just pull a shotgun out the wall?
She did.
Aunt
she was
Beru
like,
got
"Not
the
my
straps,
kid."
son. She was
Mom instincts kicked in.
I like how she's like, we knew this day would come.
very cool.
She got
very
her
cool.
guns. She had the walls. I get it, Aunt Beru.
Luis was like, you see, he wasn't surprised. He knew it was there.
Exactly. So in episode 1, we are also introduced to little Leia, right? We go to Alderaan and we see Bail Organa and his wife, and they have a daughter who is
Addie when she's 10 years old.
Little Princess Leia.
Addie when she's 6 years old.
And she is just
Next year.
the sassiest little thing on earth.
Gosh.
She plays a little prank on her mom. She does a little body swap where she's like, I have a double, and I'm not in my actual princess robes or whatever.
From my mom, I don't even know.
Exactly. We see some Padme in her right away. She runs away off into the forest.
She likes to go look at all the ships.
Yeah, she's really good with just her knowledge of the universe and how stuff works and stuff like that. She's got a little droid named Lola. That she keeps in her pocket. Lola's
So
very cute.
Very cute.
And at a certain point, let's see here, she is kidnapped by Vect No Crew's gang, a group of bounty hunters hired by Reva to lure out Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
She runs out into the forest and gets attacked and taken.
Is that because she found...
Reva doesn't know that that's Darth Vader's daughter.
Correct.
Right?
No.
She just knows that he used to be in the military with Bail Organa.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, his friend will probably be like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just knew that Bail Organa knew Obi-Wan.
Which I love Bail Organa, by the way. He
is
the
so
best.
He's a great dad.
I mean, they're both good mom and dad, but he is awesome.
He's good. I like seeing their relationship, the dad and daughter.
So we see him in...
So he's in episode 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Right. But what do we see him in after this?
He's also in
Rogue One.
Is he anything else? No,
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
Okay.
I think he's in Rogue One.
But I really like him.
I'm about to watch Rogue One and then episode 4. I'm about to get it on.
Right? It's easy.
Have we done 6?
No, we have not done
Okay.
episode 6 on the podcast. So
I'll just get
We
myself
watched
ready
4.
for 6.
We still need to do 5 and 6, but...
I think we did.
We did 5.
No, you and I. We watched 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
I see.
We could watch 5
see
and
what
6
you mean.
again, but I have not.
So, in the second episode, Bail Organa comes to Tatooine to request Obi-Wan Kenobi's help. He's like, "Hey, my daughter has been kidnapped. Can you please go rescue her? You're the only one that I trust to be able to do this. And we both have a responsibility to both of these children.
Not just
right?
Luke.
You don't
Gotta go
get to
get
just
Leia,
protect
too.
Luke. Like, these are both Anakin's kids, and this is technically all your fault, Obi-Wan. So get along and
Really sad
and
because
pick
it's
her
really
up.
not Obi-Wan's fault. It's Qui-Gon's fault. Sorry.
Seriously,
Right, yeah, we got to train the little...
Qui-Gon, this be yo problem.
It's definitely Qui-Gon's
He's
problem.
like, well, I got stabbed. I don't know what to tell you.
He force ghosted himself real quick on purpose. Stupid.
So, the kidnappers take Leia to Dayu, which is like a Vegas planet, kind of. Everything's neon.
It
lights
was
and
nowhere
back alleys.
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right,
That's
yeah,
what it reminded me
very,
of.
very much like nowhere.
Back alleys.
It's all alleys. So Kenobi.
Pretty sure there's burlesque clubs on the other side,
Right.
but
Obi-Wan goes there,
New Orleans.
and he encounters a man named Haja who pretends to be a Jedi.
Okay,
and is
stop.
using the Force to help people.
Andre loves
stop.
that dude.
Okay, I hate this guy.
Really?
What's his name?
His name is Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay.
You saw him in
He
Yes.
was
The
Kingo.
Eternals. He
Yes.
was
Oh,
Kingo.
you don't like him?
No, don't you remember the? Oh my god. Okay.
He always
So,
plays the same kind
The
of like...
moment I heard his voice, I was like, no.
I do think it's weird that they put him in a Marvel and a Star Wars thing.
He's got a good relationship with Disney right now.
I just yes. So he's kind of typecasted. I just don't like him. It's not the roles he plays.
Right.
I just don't like him as an actor, and I don't know
Not
why.
your style.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't
not
know-
your style, probably.
Must be.
So I love Kumail.
I thought he was funny.
because
He's very funny.
He's a stand-up comedian, so I knew him way back before he was in any of these roles. He was much chubbier, and he's very funny. So following his career to see him get to this point where he's like a pretty significant role in a Star Wars thing is very cool for me to see, because I know he's like a big old nerd and he
Sure.
loves all of this stuff. But yeah, this guy has been using the Force in quotation marks.
Not even. Oh my god.
To help like
Dead.
refugees get off the planet or whatever. And yeah, he's really big into pretending that he's a Jedi, and he's using like magnets and control switches, and he's hired a couple kids to be hoodlums out in the street and trick people to get him into his shop or whatever.
Which is very funny because it's obviously very fake, but when you're in a dire situation, I feel like you're just gonna allow it because you're trying to get off this planet.
Exactly. I gotta get out of here. The Empire is everywhere. Let's see here. It says the Grand Inquisitor learns of their presence on Dayu and puts the city on lockdown. Reva disobeys orders and places a new bounty on Obi-Wan Kenobi, causing mercenaries around the city to target him and Leia. When Leia realizes they are after Obi-Wan, she loses trust in him and runs away because she still doesn't really know who this guy is.
Well, and is this where he's like in the Breaking Bad sequence with like all the drugs? The spice?
Yes. He goes into this like spice lab or whatever.
And all of a sudden, spice is drugs. So glad. I've been asking for multiple.
Is always drugs.
I've been asking for multiple series. What is the spice? Oh, we found out what the spice was. Highly combustible sniffers.
Space drugs. So yeah, Obi-Wan goes in there. He blows up some people with some spice, and he beats up some dudes hand to hand. I believe he dug up his lightsaber, but he has not used it.
No, he doesn't use it until
it's time to use it.
Until he needs to stab something.
Right, exactly.
And misses repeatedly.
Yeah, he hasn't used it in a while. A little rusty. So Leia's running away. They go to a roof where some mercenaries are there trying to kill them. Leia jumps off the roof, and Obi-Wan has to actually use the Force to save her. Which is like the first time he's used the Force since the end of episode 3, we have to assume. Haja, so Kumail, he comes back and finds them and directs them to an unguarded cargo port from which they can escape. So he actually is a good guy.
No, he's a really good guy, which makes it...
But he is also scamming people.
Yeah. I mean... Han Solo.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, he's Han Solo.
Yes, he's Han Solo and people. So he does have friends, and he's leading them to the path where they will be
which is legitimately the beginning of the rebellion.
Yes,
which is
cool.
Awesome.
Very cool. I like seeing that.
Freaking Underground Railroad rebellion.
Exactly.
I dig it.
Yes. The Jedi Railroad.
Who was being led at that point by Tala and Ice Cube.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Broken.
Ice Cube.
Here. Yeah, Ice Cube 2.
Which is funny because Cubed is 3, right?
Yeah, ice cubed. That's funny. So Reva, she finds.
Is it Reva, not Reva?
I can't remember at this point.
I don't know.
I know I'm saying Reva for a specific reason, and it must be because I heard it in the show. But
I don't know.
Also, maybe a couple different characters call her different things. Maybe it's Reva and Reva.
I don't know. When I'm reading it, like subtitles wise, in my head, it's like Reba McEntire.
Right? Yeah, I go Reva, but I'm also saying Reva.
That's fine. I was just wondering.
Star Wars version of the name. I don't know. Listeners, write in. Let us know which pronunciation of
Obi-Wan says Reva.
Reva. So Reva finds where Obi-Wan is hiding. Right. He has directed Leia to like get on a cargo ship.
Are we assuming that she's feeling his Force?
I think so. I think
she's pretty Force
It sounds
sensitive.
Gross, but like
yeah, she's over there feeling on his Force.
She's pretty Force sensitive.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, Obi-Wan had used the Force, and she felt it, and I think because he's tuned back into the Force, she's more tuned to be able to find him. So she's talking to him as he's hiding, and she's like, "Hey, guess what? You didn't know, huh? You didn't know that Anakin Skywalker is still alive. He is Darth Vader." And Obi-Wan's like,
oh, acting. He's such his little face was like,
oh no. I thought this was over, dude.
Well, and the best part is he wouldn't have, in his remote part of Tatooine, doing his non-Jedi.
He's not tapped into the Force.
He would have known nothing about Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like nothing. He doesn't probably know anything about the Empire.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he only knows what he's heard from like space travelers who are coming in to hang out at the bars on Tatooine or whatever.
But I don't even think he's going to the bars.
Yeah, I think he's kind of just hanging out in this cave and talking to this Jawa, you know? So yeah, you're right. He has no idea that there is this evil dark wizard out there ruling the galaxy.
Dark wizard.
And it's his old homie.
I was waiting for a Obi-Wan brothers.
Well, that's another thing that's happened over the course of these first 2 episodes, is that he has nightmares all the time, and he has flashbacks to that fight on Mustafar.
It's really
where
sad.
he had to cut his friend in half and roll him into the lava or whatever, you know. poor little limbless man.
You're like a brother to me.
Yeah. I loved you, Anakin. He's also keeps calling out to Master Qui-Gon. He's like, Qui-Gon, you gotta help me out with this, man. This is awful. I don't like none of this. Qui-Gon,
I don't
please.
like this. Help
Qui-Gon,
me.
please. Where you at, dog?
And he's out there hiding.
Yeah.
As usual, Qui-Gon is no help
I was always
whatsoever.
here.
I think he says at the end he's always there. He's like, you just couldn't see me.
Yeah, you just weren't ready, dog.
Yeah, well,
You weren't ready. I was hiding behind her.
I'm gonna go back and watch to see if Qui-Gon's little ghost like sides out.
Oh my god.
His ghost pony.
So as Obi-Wan escapes, the Grand Inquisitor arrives, and Reva's like, you know what? I'm tired of you and all your orders. Goodbye. And she stabs him in the stomach, and it's like, oh snap, because she wants to be in that upper
She wants his
echelon.
job.
She wants to get close to Darth Vader.
Which is funny because I did appreciate it though. Like the whole first 2 episodes, they're like, know your place, know your place. You're way too like impulsive.
She's like
You're-
a hot shot.
Yeah, like calm down
Chill
and
out.
But also, I just
We've got
thought
you from the gutter. We'll put you back in the gutter or whatever.
I did think
Like,
it was
dang.
too easy in the moment for her to kill him.
For her
I
to
was
kill the
like,
Grand Inquisitor. Yeah, that's
I
the thing
wasn't
about
like
Sith,
I wasn't
though.
suspicious yet, but I was like that was kind of.
so for like, are all the Grand Inquisitors Force sensitive then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Inquisitors is a program because like I think in the last episode I had talked about the rule of 2 with the Sith,
Sure.
where there's only 2 at a time. There's a master and apprentice. That's it. These are the Sith. But I think when Palpatine became the Emperor and Darth Vader is his apprentice, he's like, hey, you know what? We don't have to do this all ourselves. You know, we could train up a couple of dummies and send them out into the world.
Delegate some of this
to do our bidding, and they're not actually gonna be
Yeah.
Sith. You know, we're the Sith, but they're just gonna go out and
It's
do,
like what
do our
Kylo-
bidding with cool
what
red
Kylo
lightsabers.
Ren was trying to do with the Knights of Ren, kind of.
Yeah, I would say.
Can have my homies
that's
go
true.
do some stuff for me.
My homies, my force sensitive homies.
I also thought it was ironic that she at the end. So at the end, we know that Reva is actually trying to kill Darth Vader. So that's why I thought it was so ironic she was trying to get so high up and close to him. Like, when Darth Vader's like, did you really think I didn't know what you're doing? Like, I'm
Think I
like, you
didn't
know how
recognize
strong
the
he is?
Padawan.
Are you that much, like, you think you're fooling him? Like, I was
she
like,
did.
that's some naivete, though, a little bit. No,
Yeah.
he knew what she was doing.
I mean, yeah, her motivation throughout the series, right? At the beginning, it seems like she just wants to rank up and be best buddies with Darth Vader or whatever. But we also saw the scene where Order 66 happened and the younglings are getting attacked and whatnot. And Anakin is the one doing it. So
Yeah, she said she just pretended that she was dead already.
right, yeah, I had assumed that Reva was one of those little kids,
Sure.
one of the Padawans, right? That was a pretty easy
Only
assumption
because she
to make.
seemed too strong. I was like, seems like she's had some training.
Oh, Luis
Yeah.
called it the moment it happened.
moment-
Like the moment that she came on screen. He was like, there was a little black girl in the middle, and now she's like a super strong Inquisitor girl over here. He's like, it's pretty obvious.
It's gotta be her. But throughout the series, I wasn't under the impression that she wanted to kill Vader. I thought that
No.
she just was, fully on the dark side and
Yeah.
wanted to be dark-sided and get on his dark
Dark
side.
wagon.
Yeah, ride the dark wagon.
wagon.
So it was a cool reveal towards the end when she's like, no, or Obi-Wan points out that she's been hunting him this entire time, and this is just the avenue she took to do it. She didn't join
Like
up with the path of the
if-
rebels or anything like that. She's just like, well, I'll just dark side my way up there. And,
Like,
I'll
if
just
Obi-Wan figured
infiltrate.
it out, do you really think Darth Vader doesn't know?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel, I mean, I already said it. I just feel like it's not that the motivation in the background is dumb, but like the avenue you chose has literally turned you into him.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and how do you not see
For
that?
sure.
I don't care how many families I have to kill to get to kill Darth Vader. It's like, all right, well, maybe you should chill on that.
Maybe
a
we should
little
think
bit.
about this a little bit differently.
But I guess if you were a child and you had that kind of trauma where everyone you know died right in front of you by
She's
a
like,
guy that you were supposed to trust.
It's a death eat death world, okay? Ay,
Exactly.
caramba.
Exactly. It's a little hard out there.
Hard knock life.
So
She learned it from Ice Cube.
she learned it from Ice Cube. I learned it from you, Ice Cube. So they go to another planet, Obi-Wan and Leia, and they're kind of stranded out in the middle of nowhere. They find a guy driving a
the
truck.
funky middle planet.
Yes, they go to Jabim.
Jabim, yeah.
And they convince a guy driving a truck, an Imperial truck, that they're father and daughter and they got lost from their platoon or whatever, and they're trying to get back to town.
Seth Rogen with the funky lips.
It wasn't Seth Rogen.
It sounded like him.
It was Zach Braff from Scrubs.
Oh.
Did you watch Scrubs?
No.
Okay, well.
I don't watch no Scrubs. But it sounded like Seth Rogen with funky lips.
Yeah.
Blah.
He had a weird mouth.
I didn't like it.
So they're driving along on this
funky.
truck, and they're posing as father and daughter. A bunch of stormtroopers get on the truck. And they're like, hey, we're looking for a Jedi. You guys seen anything? And they're like, ain't never seen no Jedi.
I'm just saying good things stormtroopers have no foreign sensitivity.
Right, yeah.
Because
if
They kind of dumb.
the good thing is they continue to be dumb in all aspects.
Yeah, every one of them. So they're fooling them for a while until Obi-Wan accidentally calls Leia instead of
Whatever they were calling her.
Luda or whatever her name was.
Luda.
I think it was Luma. So there you go.
Something like that. So they what's happening? Is it coming out? Okay.
What's coming out, baby?
His whole something's here.
Oh, okay.
And he went, "Brrr."
Yeah, he's trying to poke his way out through the top instead
He
of
looks
the
to
bottom.
the bottom.
he looks like Alien right now.
From the day that we're recording this episode, I know this doesn't come out till August, and my due date is in 2 days.
So when you listen to next time's episode, you're gonna hear us talking about hopefully the baby's here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see here. They get discovered when they reach like a checkpoint, and Obi-Wan has to basically kill everybody. Like the stormtroopers come out, and a probe droid comes, scans Obi-Wan's face, shows that it's Obi-Wan, sends that off to Darth Vader. Darth Vader's like, I know where I'm going. Let's go down to this planet. And Obi-Wan's like, and he starts murking dudes.
And it's so fun because we don't get to see hand-to-hand combat with Jedis very often.
Right. That's
No.
Like it's usually just
Lightsaber on
zing,
lightsaber.
zing, 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 zing.
And he's not on his game yet, really.
No, but I mean, he took out like a mini battalion
He is strong.
by himself.
Yeah, he took out like 7 dudes by himself, and he's in his late 50s or whatever. I don't know, but he's
in his Mark
getting up
Hamill's.
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's messing dudes up.
How old is he in real life? Please don't tell me he's in his 50s.
No, I think he's in his
I think
late 40s.
He is
He's got a couple
almost
kids.
50. Let me see here.
He says his kids don't really like that. I saw an interview that his kids don't really like that he's Obi-Wan because everyone at school is like, oh, you're Obi-Wan's daughter. And she's like, yeah.
He is 51.
He looks good.
Yeah,
he does.
He looks great. So he's messing these dudes up. Another transport comes with more stormtroopers and an Imperial officer. The Imperial officer gets off and she's like, I want to see some identification. And then she pulls out her gun and blasts all the other stormtroopers. She's like, I'm here to help. Come with me if you want to live, basically.
Undercover.
Yeah, she's been undercover. Her name is Tala.
She's pretty sick.
She's pretty dope.
She's got that freaking Imperial face, though.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know
for
what
sure.
it is about, like sunken and really sharp.
Yeah.
Like everything is very angular.
I don't have an Imperial face.
It's very interesting. She was on Game of Thrones, and she played
the mom of the
she played a person named
assassin.
a sand snake or whatever. But she was a BA, and she was like married to this guy named Oberyn Martell, and Oberyn Martell was played by Pedro Pascal,
Oh.
who becomes Mando.
Yeah.
So she in this show, right? As soon as she shows up in that Imperial outfit, I'm like, oh, she's a bad guy for sure. So it was very cool and surprising when she starts blasting stormtroopers. Like, I'm here to help you. I'm on the good side. I'm like,
Because she usually plays.
Yeah, because I knew.
Because you're right, she has the look.
She has that face. You're like, ooh,
Yeah.
scowy.
Yeah, it was very cool. So she takes him to an underground bunker place.
They don't feed their Empire, employees very well.
No.
Yeah, you get 2 boiled eggs and a piece of toast. That's it. All right.
White boiled eggs.
I don't know. Sounds like some Empire food. Right?
A little bit of protein. protein, a little bit of carbs.
That's all you get. No veggies. So
I'm cool with that.
that's why their faces are so sunken. No veggies. Eat your veggies, kids. So yeah, she takes him to the underground bunker where this is where Obi-Wan learns of the path, which is the underground road for Jedis and Force users and people who are against the Empire. Right, and she said that she has a way to get them off the planet, but it's, her whole cover is going to be blown, and this whole operation is going to have to move, and all that stuff. So as they're getting ready to get them out of there, more stormtroopers and Darth Vader arrive. So Obi-Wan is hanging out in the bunker. And he's like, oh, he's here. I feel him coming. He's here.
Can you imagine? Imagine this is real life. But imagine being around Obi-Wan and watch, because he has such a
good facial expression.
He has such good facial expressions where what he's thinking, right? So you're sitting there next to him and he's rigid, gets rigid, and you're like, oh man, and he's like, he's here.
You're like, ah!
Exactly.
I don't want to do it here.
Go away! Get out of here! So Obi-Wan goes out front, right? And Darth Vader has landed, and he's walking through town, and he's basically like, Obi-Wan, come out to play. and as he's walking through
terrifying.
town, he is just murking civilians. He's like, snap your neck. I'll throw you up against a wall. You're dead. And
it's like a
scary.
Rogue One Darth Vader that I love so much,
Yes.
where he's in the hall just messing people up. I'm like, oh, here he is again.
But he doesn't even bring out his lightsaber. He's just doing it all with the Force. He's moving so slowly with his robot legs.
Well, Luis and I were talking about how cool it is to see Darth Vader right at this moment in time, because he's young.
Yeah, he's at his most powerful.
Yeah, he's at the top of his game. He literally doesn't even have to think about using the Force. He is the Force at this point.
Yes, he is all the Force that exists on the planet. He's literally trying to wipe out all the other Force users. He's sucking it all up for himself, and he's very powerful.
So it's cool to just watch him do a little flick of the wrists and a little.
I think one of the kids was like, don't kill my dad. And he's like, fine, I'll kill you instead.
Yeah.
And leaves the dad alive. I was like, oh my God, Darth Vader's scary.
Yeah, it was quite violent.
Yeah, but that's what I expect.
Yeah.
Darth Vader is scary.
Yeah.
If I saw him in real life, I'd be like, we better get the F out of here.
I'd be like, we dead. We are not surviving.
I remember when we met him in Disneyland, I was like,
dude, and then Kylo Ren too. I was like, I can't be in here, man. You all fools are scary.
They're very scary.
You're like, join the dark side. I'm like, I will.
So they see Darth Vader coming and So Tala boots them out through the back way to get them on a transport. And before they leave, Tala's like, you go and I'm going to stay and fight these guys off. And Obi-Wan's like, no, I'm going to go, you stay or whatever. So they kind of diverge paths, and Leia gets on the ship by herself, or she's supposed to go get on the ship by herself, because they both end up leaving. Obi-Wan goes out to confront Vader.
He is not on his game yet, okay?
And
He can't be going out there.
He doesn't have it, right? He pulls out his lightsaber for the first time, and he's swinging against Vader, and Vader's like, oh, you make this easy.
I am the master.
I am the master now, which is not. He doesn't say that now, but he says that in episode 4, and he's tearing him up.
He's still being a little. You think you better than me, old man? You off your game?
I feel your weakness, Obi-Wan.
Hey, chill out.
how much did you practice that? Because you sound very.
Well, I mean,
he's been doing it for years.
Yeah, exactly. I've been doing it since I was a child.
Andre is my entertainment.
Yeah,
so Vader overpowers Obi-Wan.
Oh, it was so rough.
With the Force. He Force chokes him, and he's like, now you will suffer. And he burns him. He puts him in fire.
He sets all this oil on fire and just drags him through it.
Burning him in
He's
oil
like,
on
this
his
is
arm.
what it felt like when you did it to me.
How you like that, Obi-Wan? How did you like being on fire, huh?
He's still petty Anakin. Okay?
Yes, that's what kind of made it funny. Was like, wow, you.
That's why I said I really liked that he was still Anakin. Anakin.
Right.
Okay, Anakin.
You saw his emotions getting to him, just like, oh, good old Annie.
He's not old and calculated yet.
Yes, exactly. So the only reason Obi-Wan doesn't die here is because Tala shows up. She sends a blaster bolt down that way, and Obi-Wan is able to get up and make his escape.
Running his face through the fire.
They have to put him in the bacta tank.
Yes,
Get in that bacta.
I like it. He's in the bacta tank, and Darth Vader's in the bacta tank, and they both can know they's in the bacta tanks, and they're like,
having bacta conversations.
Yeah. Also, I need a bacta tank. You sound nice.
I know. It sounds relaxing, right?
Heal this body.
On my back.
Hail me.
So Leia is captured by Reva at this point. She doesn't make it to the ship that she's supposed to be getting on. So Obi-Wan has to go rescue her in the next episode.
Again.
Dude, and Leia ain't messing around the next episode. We was trying to get everything out of her, and she is just talking around her. Okay, she gives no Fs. That probe droid comes in, she's like, probe me. See what happens.
Do it. I don't care.
She literally is the best. She is Leia.
I looked at Luis and was like, this is not a 10-year-old. Like, that's the only hard part of this whole thing for me.
Right.
Is that I kind of wish that it was like...
She was like 14 or something.
Yeah, like maybe 15 years later. But then I realized it messes up the whole like thing.
Yeah, it does.
But like, she wasn't... In my mind, that's not a 10-year-old.
Right.
You know?
But I mean, I know a lot of kids who are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She honestly looked younger to me.
Yeah,
than
she
10.
looked
Like,
younger
was
than
small.
Right. She looked younger than 10, and
Well, so did Luke.
right.
Yeah.
They did not
they
look
just
like
looked
10-year-olds.
So
But I
small.
think that's why it was so perfect that every word that would come out of her mouth was just that much more like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
This is
But
Princess
Andre
Leia.
and I, we watch Game of Thrones, and there's one girl who's like a queen of the town.
And she's like 11 or whatever.
Yeah, she's like the same, and she talks circles around.
Around all the adults.
All of
and
the
she's
adults.
right all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, how did you get here?
Yeah.
And it's just that wise beyond your years kind of wisdom.
Yeah.
But I'm also attributing it a little bit to the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in this scene where Reva is interrogating her, and Reva is trying to use that Kylo Ren attack your mind thing on Leia,
And
it's
she's
just
like-
not working at all.
She's
like,
just chilling there. She's
this
like,
only works on the
okay.
weak-minded, you know. It's not, you're not gonna get nothing out of me.
She's even
that.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think, like we see Luke's force powers come about through the original trilogy, and there's only like little glimpses of Leia using the force during those movies, and then in the sequels we see her using it a lot more.
I think hers comes out more like in her personality.
Right, yeah, it's in her personality, it's all in her the amount of knowledge and wisdom that she has, which I
Which
kind
so
of
she
like.
got that, and Luke got the other.
The pickup rocks
Yeah.
with my mind.
Balance on
cool.
your head with a Yoda.
Yes, exactly. I can do backflips. So that's cool.
I'd rather be Leia all day.
So Leia's being held in this stronghold that the Inquisitors have, and Obi-Wan has to infiltrate this place in order to rescue her. He goes down into the water. He climbs up, and he has to do some good old sneaky Obi-Wans, right? Just like he used to do.
I was like, be sneaky, bro.
Yeah, you got to sneak around.
And is this where Tala's like in the Imperial ship helping
Yes,
him?
she has to use her cover once again, even though it might be like the last time she's able.
It's like
to
not
use
her
it.
jurisdiction
Right,
area.
it's not her jurisdiction. She's not really supposed to be there as an Imperial officer, so it's very risky. She goes in. She bypasses some security. She starts hacking some stuff so that she can help Obi-Wan on his way. She has to take out a couple dudes. She's pretty cool, and she's tactful.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan makes it to the place where Leia is being held. He pulls out his lightsaber. This is where we start playing with like the color and stuff like that. He pulls out his lightsaber in this completely dark room, so all you see is the lightsaber swinging, and it's like hitting stormtroopers in the back and stuff like that. He's taking these dudes out. It looks really cool.
And I like how it lights their face on either side too.
Yes, exactly. It's very good looking.
Well, and that's how you can tell that it was like the budget was better because it's obviously internally lit.
Right.
Like the saber they're using.
Yes, exactly.
Not just like over the top glowed.
A plastic stick
Yeah.
that they
No, no.
Those
post-production.
new lightsabers they have on the Galactic Star Cruiser that they use.
Yes, exactly.
That kind of.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, it's a lit prop. So the lighting is all done very purposefully, which is very cool. So Obi-Wan is able to get Leia out with the help of Tala. They like wrap her in a in like a shawl and try to walk out of the building.
I was like, oh, sneaky.
At one point, Obi-Wan also has to because they're in like an underwater base, so there's glass around him and they're fighting and blasters are going off and hitting the glass and water is starting to pour through. He has to use the Force to hold it all up.
Obi-Wan's so cool.
While Tala
even when he's
Leia
at his
escape.
weakest, he's pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
exactly. Like
Excuse
we see
better than
him,
me. I couldn't do that.
I think we see him in this episode trying to this is Obi-Wan getting his groove back, like he's using lightsaber a little bit more and he's blocking lightsaber bolts
He's getting there
as much as he can.
Trying to be sneaky.
He's getting back into the groove of things. And as they make their way out, they have to call on these new rebels, the proto rebels, Ice Cube Jr. and the rest of the gang, to come rescue them. And they're kind of fighting against it. They're like, we're not soldiers. We're just people trying to help other people get to safe places. So I don't know how much we're going to be able to help you, but they do end up arriving. Reva finds out that Obi-Wan is there, and
She puts a tracker in Lola.
Right, she puts a tracker in Lola and sends that off with Leia. They get rescued by some of these new rebels in one of their ships, but another one of their ships goes down. Poor Wade, he gets shot down.
Yeah, that was sad.
They're basically, they're not trying to be the rebellion yet, but they
they're
kind of
early
are
rebels.
now.
Right, yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah.
So they are able to escape and make their way to the rebel base, as it were, on a different planet. And since Reva put that tracker in, they know exactly where they're going.
They know where she is. So I think Darth Vader is kind of done with her at this point, but then she's like, but I put a tracker and I know where he is. And Darth Vader honestly only wants Obi-Wan, so he's just fine, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
You still have some use for me yet,
Exactly.
I feel like he fully plans to kill her when he's done.
As soon as he's done.
It's so funny too because it's like you can almost see him rolling his eyes behind the mask. You can feel it.
She annoys him.
Especially because
That's
of the
her
way
throw
it's the cadence of his speech. You can see where the exasperation comes between each word or
Right.
whatever. It's
And
very funny.
was Anakin in, or
So,
was Hayden Christensen in the suit?
Yes, I believe Hayden Christensen
He did good then.
is in the suit almost the entire time.
They voice over him.
James Earl Jones is doing the voice, but I think
in the last episode, it was
for sure
Hayden.
they're both doing the voice at the same time.
Yeah.
And I almost wonder if they collaborated on that a little bit for the rest of Darth Vader's lines.
Well, I'm sure he was saying the
throughout
lines
this.
as he was acting, and then they
Sure.
overed it.
And they overdone
I
it.
think in the last one where he cuts his mask and stuff, it's they have both voices talking in the same at the same time, and then it's like taking down the reverb on James.
Yes, exactly.
So that you can hear
you
it.
can hear Hayden a little bit, which is cool.
Because it has the depth, but it also sounds like him.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was
master.
Hayden in there because I was like, he didn't do much acting, but now I'm like, yes, he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think he played Darth Vader
Yeah.
in this series. So in the next episode, Reva goes to the rebel base where they're all hiding out. They have to get out of that place, but their ship is kind of busted, so they have to fix it. So they have to hold off the stormtroopers as they're coming in. Obi-Wan does his best to lay waste to these dudes, but he's only one guy, and he doesn't.
He does pretty good.
He does a pretty good job. They are able to.
Reva and her robot help too.
Right, exactly.
Or not Reva. What's her name? Tala.
Tala. Yes, Tala is there
Oh,
helping.
I like that robot. I don't
yeah,
remember what it was called or what it is. The trash compactor guy.
Yeah, he's like the trash compactor droid, and they're not allowed to speak or whatever, but actions speak louder than words with this dude.
It's her friend.
Yeah. Which is cool. Towards the end of the episode, everybody, all the rebels are getting onto the ship, and Reva is facing off with Obi-Wan, and this is where Obi-Wan discovers that her plan is to actually hunt Darth Vader. So he's like, come with me, help me, and we can probably take him out together if you and I work together. And she's like, I don't wanna.
She's an idiot. It would have worked.
It definitely would have worked. So they are. Darth Vader arrives, right, And he's like, all right, you guys all messed up. I'll have to actually, sometimes I gotta do it myself, I guess. He walks through that place. As all the rebels are getting onto their ship, the ship is taking off. Darth Vader reaches his hand
Oh,
up,
it was so cool.
stops the ship and brings it down, crashing, rips the doors off, and nobody's in there. It's a decoy ship. The real ship takes off in the background.
Because Obi-Wan knows his Padawan.
Whew, that was very close.
But it was so scary.
It was very scary.
Oh my
watching
gosh.
him pull the ship down.
What was really cool about this series was how I felt, and I'm thinking of Star Tours because you just felt so many Star Tours moments.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
where he reaches forward and kind of shakes a little bit.
They're shaking the ship. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
scowy.
Yeah, he's very scary.
It is
Shut
scary.
up.
our
It
series
is
are
scary,
going on.
dude. Darth
I keep
Vader-
saying the word series and then my Siri turns on.
Yeah, so Darth Vader remains scary in this episode, right?
Woohoo.
Because all
Scally.
the rebels get away. Obi-Wan gets away.
And Reva tries to sneak up.
Reva is there, and she tries to sneak up on Darth Vader.
And he turns around. He's like, "You think I didn't know
Like,
this was
you
happening?"
Absolute idiot. I wasn't born yesterday, dummy.
Then he like literally destroys her.
It's so cool watching her try to fight him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even pull out his lightsaber. He's blocking all her moves with the Force.
And he
He's
makes
like,
it look
"You
so easy."
ain't got nothing on me. And he like
He
Beautiful.
like slices her lightsabers in half.
takes her
He's like,
lightsaber, splits it
"Whatever."
in half, turns on both sides.
And then he throws one to her like,
tosses
let's
her
go.
one. I'm like, okay, let's see what you got, little homie. Let's go.
Like humoring her.
Yeah, very much so. And he just rips her to pieces.
Because he's petty too, and he likes to show he's the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He tears her up.
It was
stabs
kind
her
of
in
it
the
was
chest.
funny. I enjoyed that part of it. Like
Anakin's the pettiest, man.
and he's the most arrogant. He's like, I got this. For sure. So yeah, he stabs her in the belly.
And then the Grand Inquisitor shows up.
Right. He's like, oh, you thought I was dead? Guess what? I got a robo stomach now. Everything's cool. And yeah, they revealed that they were
the
just
Bacta
using her.
does wonders.
Yeah, they revealed they were just using her basically. They step on a little communicator as they walk out, and they leave her for dead. Excuse me. And we see this little communicator is from Bail Organa, I believe. It's a message from him to Obi-Wan saying that, like, hey, if Vader knows about the kids, Tatooine, Luke, it'll be bad.
She should have died right here, though. Like, she got stabbed, like, in the liver.
Yeah,
Or more, yeah.
right.
That was what I didn't understand. I was like, okay.
Yeah, she got the same stabbing that Qui-Gon got.
Yeah.
She's over here walking around.
And get into Tatooine before everybody else.
Right, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Well, they got light speed.
I mean, I guess, yeah, she hobbled onto a ship.
Either way, it's always fun seeing Darth Vader F up things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was doing it.
It really is. It's very cool.
So then that was the 5th episode, right?
Yes.
So we were kind of like, wow, there's only one more. How are they going to wrap this up? Because usually what happens on the 6th episode is where it falls off for me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, well, they didn't wrap that up well enough. But thank goodness,
Deborah.
okay,
Deborah.
Go off, Deborah.
she did the thing and gave me exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I just want to watch the 6th episode again just to see Obi-Wan F things up too.
Deborah.
Throwing rocks.
The path is
Throwing. Oh, my God.
throwing rock.
Is that the part that I sent you guys in the text?
Yes.
We were like, oh, she got there.
Got to do the
Because
rock.
Andre and I were like, oh.
It was very
like,
cool.
it came on the screen. We were like, what the heck?
So yeah,
So good.
Obi-Wan diverges. He gets on a mini transport and leaves the rest of the rebels as they go on their merry way to escape.
Well, they're all on the same transport.
Right. But he takes an escape
Yeah,
pod
and Leia doesn't like that.
because he knows that he has to go.
Darth Vader wants him.
Obi-Wan, yeah.
And then I think the Inquisitor's like, we can't let all those people go. And he was like, I do not care.
I don't care about any of them.
Like, all I want is
You shoulda.
Obi-Wan.
Right. He definitely
Yeah. Shoulda.
Definitely
Yeah,
shoulda
because
thought
he's
about
so petty, okay?
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan goes down to this planet where
Yeah, shoulda.
where Darth Vader is. He lands there and he's creeping around, and yeah, we're hearing the breath.
They are creeping.
And
You just see a blue light and a red light.
it was cool. It was cool to watch Obi-Wan fight Darth Vader here. Like it felt very reminiscent of Episode 3. Like there might as well have been lava all over the place because they're fighting in a very similar way to the way that they fought before, except they're both older and slower now. Yeah. Round 2, old men fight, and they go and they're
it's much less dynamic, but also more.
It's a lot less flashy.
Yeah.
I would say. But it is a lot more emotional. Like they're both.
Well, and they're like yelling at each other, and I think he still says like Anakin something. He's calling him Annie still, Anakin. He doesn't call him Darth Vader.
No,
until the very end.
Very end. So, but before that, so they're fighting, right? And Darth Vader throws all these rocks on. He like puts a hole in the ground. He like throws Obi-Wan in there. He like slams all these rocks on him. He's like, "You thought you could beat me? Bye." No. He's throwing all the rocks, and then he just walks away. And Andre and I kind of looked at each other like, "Why do you walk away? He's not dead."
That's what Luis and I
was like, "You didn't want to kill Obi-Wan?
You didn't want to make sure he would dead?"
Right.
Yeah.
No, Luis looked at me and he's like, "Yeah, it's because he wanted him to suffer like he did." And I was like, "Yeah, well, he's gonna suffer for like 2 seconds. Come up in here and whip your ass."
Because Obi-Wan, he's like, "I don't think so, buddy," and he lifts
he's like
up all
having
these rocks.
flashbacks to like all the stuff under there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was like, "My Jedi powers are back to their full potential." And he's like, gets out of the rocks. Okay, he lifts them up.
Just so everybody knows, Michelle's on a big yoga ball, and so with her like pulling her arm up for the rocks, it's really just like rocking the house. It's fantastic.
Looks great there.
Like a shaman over here.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan he lays the smack down on Vader. It rips up his mask, as we said before, and this
when
is where
he like levels all the rocks and starts like throwing them at him, like, and like the lighting is so good because it's still like blue on him whenever it comes from his lightsaber.
I think up to this point, Darth Vader has been like, bright and shiny in his dark armor, right? And now he's getting like scuffed up for the first time, and the armor's looking a little worse for wear, and he's getting a little fritzy and whatnot.
He got sizzled here. He got messed up. Yeah, and then he tears down like half his face, and then you see Hayden. I'm like, oh, it's Hayden.
Which is very cool to see. And to hear that both of their voices at the same time.
And then all of the dialogue right here, like I can't remember what it was word for word, but it just like shivers through me, where he's like, Anakin, something. And he tells Obi-Wan, like, you didn't kill Anakin. I did.
Anakin. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Darth, you're truly gone.
Right.
Like
now Obi-Wan can
like, well, at least Anakin admit it was actually him because it was not Obi-Wan's fault.
Right.
You know
well, and that's the thing is that that's what we wanted to hear him say as the viewer, but like petty Anakin probably like in real life would have been like, yeah, this is your fault. Come at me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think at this point, 10 years later, he's accepted that this is just who he is. Like this evil thing.
Right. Like this is...
I'm surprised, though, he didn't say something like, Emperor Palpatine was stronger than you and I went with him. Like, because that's kind of how he's very...
Yeah.
I don't know. It was enough for me.
Oh, it was perfect.
I got a new daddy now.
What they could have said was too much and we would have been like, okay.
Yeah. No, it was perfect.
I just needed like a short and sweet line like that. And then when Obi-Wan called him Darth.
Yeah.
Did he call him Darth?
He called him Darth.
Yeah, Darth, not Darth Vader.
Like,
Darth instead of Annie. Like that was the first time that had come out of his mouth. I was like, okay. Like there was almost closure in a weird way.
No, it definitely was closure.
That Anakin or Obi-Wan can move on and be like, I mean, he does say it in the third movie, like, then my friend is truly gone, but he doesn't believe it.
Right, he doesn't believe it, and he thinks that maybe there is still some good in him, but it takes until this moment where he realizes that his friend is dead, there's nothing left of him, he is more machine than man now,
For sure.
But yeah, Darth Vader, he did say...
But it was so good.
It was very well done.
And and I'm sure they were trying to go at fans like me and my heartstrings, you know what I mean? Like, let's give them the moment that they've always wanted. But it, felt good. I was like, ooh, I had chills.
Yeah,
well, it's because Ewan McGregor is so good, man. Dude,
he's so good.
He brought it.
He really brought it.
Everything he's in, honestly.
Yeah, I was very appreciative of his performance in this series. He did a fantastic job.
And Hayden tried. It was some of his best acting.
It was.
Hayden brought it.
Even when his face was showing, I was like, oh no, here we go. I have to see him. No, he did And it sounded like that petty Anakin still,
Yeah.
but also Vader enough that I was satisfied. I was like, good job.
There
buddy.
was a flashback scene that we kind of skipped over where we flash back to episode 2 era, and Obi-Wan's got his mullet
They're, like,
and his
training.
beard, and
Got a Padawan
and,
pony.
Yeah, Anakin has his Padawan pony.
And his voice sounds like he's 85.
Yeah, the thing is that even though they de-aged both of them
Mm-hmm.
digitally, you could see how much Hayden Christensen had
Yeah.
aged, you
Yeah.
know, both voice and body or whatever. But it was still a cool scene where they're going.
It wasn't awful. I mean,
I
it
like
made sense,
flashback
but yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool.
They're sparring, and Anakin is being overzealous and arrogant and not minding his surroundings, and Obi-Wan has to teach him a lesson or whatever, and he teaches him that lesson once again here as he whips up on Darth Vader at the
And then walks away.
yeah, he's like, goodbye.
I love that. He's like, all right.
He still doesn't. Obi-Wan doesn't have it in him to kill him. I just think he never could.
Right. I mean, yeah, he never does. You know, I'll pass it on to the boy. The boy can do that.
Hey, you, do that. And he never
Yeah, he
does.
never does.
Aw.
So meanwhile, on Tatooine, Reva showed up, and Owen and Baru are having to get prepared. They pull out straps.
Dude, they was ready.
They're gearing up for a fight, and a fight they tell Luke to go up into the attic and run, or whatever. And they hold their own against Reva a little bit as she makes her way.
They did pretty good
to Luke
for
yeah.
someone who's strong.
I mean, they didn't die, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't died yet. Another 10 years actually. Yeah, 10 years you got left on this Earth, on this Tatooine.
On this planet.
So Reva chases after Luke. He's running in the
She
desert.
captures him.
Or whatever. She captures him.
And they run a long way. Like, I don't know if you looked in the background to where those mountains were. Like, that's far.
Several miles.
And
you know?
but she has a flashback to like Anakin killing her friends, and in this moment, she's finally realizing I'm doing the same
I'm
just
just
he
doing
did.
The same thing. Yeah, it wasn't all the hundreds of other families that she murdered over the past 10 years or whatever. now,
And I was trying to think in my head, is this the first time she's murdered a kid? Maybe.
I don't think so.
You don't think this is the first time she's gone for a kid? And
Nah,
that's why
she's-
it was affecting her more?
nah, she out there, like,
Yeah, I mean, if
Murder.
the Inquisitors have been being sent after Force users this entire time, they definitely probably found some people on the younger side to mess up. Yeah, I don't think this is her first child murder. So let's see here. Reva arrives at Luke's home. Let's see here. She has the flashback of the massacre at the Jedi Temple. Liberated from the dark side, Obi-Wan congratulates her for overcoming her trauma from the past. On Mustafar, Vader is healed and abandoned his search for Obi-Wan after Emperor Palpatine shows up, and he's like, "Hey, dog."
He says, "What's up, homie?"
What's up, dog? You're not still pining after Vader, right? You're not letting your emotions control you."
Obi-Wan.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right.
He's like, I don't care about Obi-Wan.
I don't care. I don't even care about Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's like, whatever, dude. I don't care."
And
about
in
him.
this moment,
I don't care about
Darth
anything.
Sidious is like, great, Vader's got to go one day because he's still not over this.
Right. Yeah.
you know, I just gotta get my mask fixed, bruh.
Yeah.
And then we'll be good to go. I don't care about him anymore.
But it's so interesting how he's still like directly under his manipulation. You know, he comes in and like, you aren't feeling emotions or anything, are you? It's like, no, I'm Darth Vader. I'm cool. I don't feel emotions ever.
Yeah, he's being Anakin
No.
again.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah,
It really
he,
was a good balance.
he abandons his search for Obi-Wan, and he doesn't.
So what is he, like 30 right now? 30-ish, 35 maybe?
Yeah, he's probably like 35, something like that.
He said, I'm in my prime, brah.
Right. I'm
Leia
a grown
goes
man.
back to
Alderaan.
Alderaan, and Obi-Wan comes to say, "Give her back, Lola."
Yes, he brings Lola back.
And they have
to
the
Leia.
best. I cried. The conversation between Obi-Wan and Leia, because now I just want Obi-Wan to be a dad because he seems like he'd be such a good dad.
Well,
I don't know what he said to Leia. It was a lot. He says, like, I can't really tell you much about your parents, but you're this part of your mom and this
Right.
part of your dad, and basically the most BA kid I've ever met. So
Right, yeah, you're the coolest.
Yeah, I mean, and she is. She is legitimately the coolest kid.
Yeah.
I got me teary-eyed.
Organically.
I was like, Obi-Wan wants a kid.
Yeah.
He has to watch over these people for the rest of his life.
He has to watch over this stupid little Tatooine
Little
child.
farm boy. It's like, man,
Little.
I should have taken Leia.
He's like, I traded one whiny boy for another whiny boy.
Yeah, he was just a whiny boy city. This is my penance. I have to raise these whiny boys.
You know what? He was probably a whiny boy when he was a kid too.
Maybe.
Ay, caramba.
That's funny. Yeah, so he bids farewell to Leia, and yeah, he goes back to Tatooine and just keeps an eye on Luke. And
Hello there.
hello there. Yes, he gets to meet him for the first time, I guess.
I love that he said hello there.
Hello there.
I was like, oh, he's back.
Hello there.
And that's the end of the series.
Thank goodness it ended so good.
Yeah, it ended great because it literally goes from here to there.
Yes.
Like there's from here to Rogue, right?
Yes, exactly.
Like there's no.
Well, and then he sees Qui-Gon.
Oh, yes. He walks off into the distance and
He moves out of his cave. He's going to go to the mountains now.
right. Qui-Gon Jinn appears. And
I'm moving out my cave. Bye,
says,
Jawa friends.
well, you took long enough. And Obi-Wan says, I thought you would never come. He's like, I was always here, buddy.
He's like,
you were
just
just
had
not
to...
ready to see.
Yeah.
We've got a ways to go. And so they get to do their
Force Ghost training.
Force Ghost training, basically. Yeah, which is cool. And that is the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Would you like to tell them your theory about the Force ghosting?
Which one?
Between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan?
Well, about Obi-Wan.
Oh no, because it was proven wrong.
Oh.
Well, did you want to tell them your theory of what
My
you
theory was
theoried?
that he was a. Oh no, actually, my theory is that he is force ghosting all of the originals.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like he's already gone.
He thought that before we watched episode 6 that he may have died in episode 6. Like we hadn't watched it, right?
Obi-Wan?
And then he's like, yeah, what if Obi-Wan died and then was force ghosting the whole
The
whole
the whole time?
originals?
Oh, I see.
That was his
There's a couple of flaws with that.
Well, no.
Right, yeah. Mostly the fact that they appear as like blue ghosts or whatever.
Let him be a real ghost. You don't know how ghosts look.
That would have been interesting, right? If Obi-Wan had died like in this series and was still able to have aged and force ghosted to raise Luke. And
Well,
You
and
know,
it was,
let him do
it was
him.
weird because that was my dad's qualm when he was talking about Obi-Wan. He's like, well, it's cool because we're watching these fights, but I already know that Darth Vader and Obi-Wan don't die. So for some reason, that was a qualm for my dad. Like, he was like, well, they're not going to kill each other.
right, that's the prequel problem.
I think it like took the...
Well,
I know
mean,
that Leia's going to
took the-
survive. I know that Obi-Wan's going to survive. I know that Darth
yeah,
Vader will
well,
survive.
I mean,
Which doesn't bother me at all. But my dad was like, well, I already know. Like, maybe it makes the fights feel less intense for him.
maybe.
Or something.
Well, here's the deal, people. Get on a movie podcast where all you want to know is prequel stuff and all you want to know is backstory.
Yeah.
And then these types of things will be very satisfying for you.
Right.
It is sad.
Because this is
was
what
so
we're looking
satisfying.
for.
I think this was a satisfying series.
I mean, I'll go ahead and rate it. This series was, I think when it finished, I was like 10 out of 10. Recommend. But I'm going to give it a 9. 9 out of 10 for the Star Wars show, Obi-Wan. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rewatch it. Maybe not like right now, baby on the way. But it's going to get rewatched because it was that good.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9.
I liked that his song, like, it wasn't a song. It was just like his little...
Theme.
Just went straight into, like, the Jedi theme. The Jedi
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. The
Luis, what are you going to give this show?
9 out of 10.
Yes.
It was heck good.
Yes.
Heck good.
Emily.
Yeah, good.
I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. It was good, music good, great acting, great Deborah.
Great Deborah. The best Deborah I've ever seen.
I mean,
think.
Andre?
I think we're getting a sweep here, guys. I am also giving it a 9.
Why does that have a low score? Is that the...
On Rotten Tomatoes, this series has an 83% on the tomato meter. The audience score is 63%, interestingly enough.
so what? Star Wars people hate it.
Maybe.
No, Jon Favreau has just infected everybody's mind.
That's just not John Favreau's not on there.
No,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
saying that everybody else likes Jon Favreau's stuff.
I see.
No, that he has infected their minds so badly that anything that comes out now that's a miniseries is bad.
That's interesting.
What does it say?
The critics' consensus says, this won't be the Obi-Wan Kenobi some viewers are looking for, but Ewan McGregor's soulful performance and some refreshing twists make this a satisfying, if circuitous, addition to the Star Wars saga.
I guess circuitous means.
I'm looking it up.
Are you sure that's how you say the word?
They don't usually use words that Emily doesn't know.
Circuitous.
Let me see.
Maybe it's supposed to be like cyclical.
Circuitous. Roundabout.
Yeah.
Indirect.
In a route or journey longer than the most direct way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like it could have been straight to the point, but
Right.
it kind of took make the scenic route. Like
I guess
maybe
so. Maybe it could
I
have been
didn't
4
feel that
episodes
way.
instead of 6. I don't know. I like the pacing, of the show. I like that throughout. They're kind of on a cat and mouse kind of
they
pace.
want to say this wasn't the direct route. Okay, Boba Fett. Okay, Mandalorian. This one
I would
moved.
say I didn't feel that way.
Again,
This was
Jon
9.
Favreau just soiling people's perspectives. I think.
I don't know. The first
script.
episode, even I remember Michelle saying like, "You're gonna love it because the first episode stuff's happening."
Right.
Like there's
Thank
not.
goodness. I love when it just starts off like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. It got into it pretty quick.
Because I was worried about, oh man, we're doing another Star Wars thing. I know Emily doesn't really like it that much, and I was kind of like, and then after the first episode, I was like, oh, thank God, she's gonna like it.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah. This is a good show. And I am happy that it came out. I'm happy that it finally got made. You know, I think this has been in production for a long time.
Oh, really?
You know? It was originally going to be like they were going to do a Solo movie, I think a Darth Vader movie and an Obi-Wan movie, or a Boba Fett movie and an Obi-Wan movie. And then now those all got
Boba Fett
changed
movie.
into different things. A Solo movie actually happened, and the Mandalorian, and then the Book of Boba Fett happened, and now we get this Obi-Wan show.
This is really awesome, actually, in comparison, because, I mean, like we said, I think movies are fantastic, but TV shows on specific things can be much better, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've watched movies where we were like, this would have been better as a TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
Or TV shows that would have been better as a movie, aka Hawkeye.
Right.
Or just non-existent would have been fine too.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I'm kind of worried about Ahsoka.
The Ahsoka show.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold yet. And that's the next Star Wars to come out?
No, the next one to come out will be Andor, which I think will
I'm
come out
excited for
later
that.
this year. And that
But
takes place kind of in this same period of in between 3 and 4, where the rebels are beginning to
I'm assuming it's before. Oh, it has
It's
to be
before
before
Favreau
Rogue
doing
One.
both of them?
that one I'm not sure.
I know he's doing Ahsoka,
Yes.
so I'm a little worried.
He's doing Ahsoka.
that it's just going to have the same vibe as like Mando and Boba, you know?
I see what you mean. But no, it looks like Andor is not a Jon Favreau.
Is it a Deborah?
Deborah. Don't think so. But I don't think all of this stuff has come out. But it doesn't look like one single director is going to be doing the whole
Okay,
thing.
so this, and then Andor, and then Rogue One, and then Episode 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Ow.
And also the cartoon Star Wars Rebels fits in there somewhere.
No,
Ain't
don't
nobody doing that.
And I think a couple of those characters from Star Wars Rebels are going to be in
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka Andor.
Cool.
I believe, which will be cool.
So I'll just meet them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll meet them
Live
when
action.
it's necessary.
Yeah, live action style. So yeah, this has been our discussion on Obi-Wan. Let us know what you thought of the show in the comments below the posts for this episode. Next week, or next episode, as we've already said, we are going to be talking about the 1997 live action comedy
Esque.
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
Strong as he can be.
George of the Jungle.
Watch out for that tree. Yeah, so get hyped for that, because it's just a whole bundle of fun. George of the Jungle.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
I picked it, so.
Yeah, this is a Michelle pick.
No, that's unfair. You don't pick.
What?
We're gonna fight. He was gonna say, I don't
No,
pick
you
bad
don't.
movies
You
all
don't.
the time.
You don't pick bad movies all the time. I mean, we each had our. We've had our.
We've all had
blunders.
our downfalls.
Everybody except it's just you and I, Michelle. I don't think Andre or Ems have ever picked a bad movie.
Who's picked Smart House? I
That was probably me.
think that was you.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad movie.
Well, we didn't enjoy.
So okay, everybody has picked one. Don't
Yeah.
just say, "Oh, sorry guys, it's my
Yeah,
pick."
I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't pick hot garbage.
Hey, guess what? We didn't make these movies. This is all Disney's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you put out a
We're
crap
just,
movie?
We're just coming to talk about them.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep up with us or on social media at the Walt Vault Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let us know what you thought of these movies, and if you're excited for what's coming up next, George of the Jungle. You can send an email to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com. We'll read that message on the show, and you can support us by making sure you're subscribed on all podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube. We're all over the place. You can also help support us by going to Patreon. That's patreon.com/thewaltvault, where you get a little bit of extra content for just a small smidget of money. And thank you for all of our current patrons. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes, we do.
That has been it for this episode. You guys, we will see you next time for some Georgie goodness. The vault is now closed.
Ay, ay,